Right now, Bitcoin is breaking out and we are looking at reaching significantly higher in the $30,000 range if this continues. I want to break down with you what we're seeing in this video if we're going to continue to attack these higher levels, because if you take a look at this on the hourly time frame, the single most important, interesting thing that's happened here is that as soon as we kind of hit this range in terms of price action for Bitcoin, Bitcoin started to top out. And we can actually see this quite clearly if we just kind of trace this from the candle body opens and closes, where this was an important area of resistance for Bitcoin, but we've now blasted straight through it. Take a look at this this chart right here, showing so well how Bitcoin has managed to, just kind of conquer an area of previous resistance and absolutely skyrocket above it. And when that kind of thing happens, it begs the question, are we going to continue to rise up? And there are a few different ways we can kind of measure what that looks like. The first way is we can draw a line like this to measure the height of the previous rally and then take it to the breakout point, and that gives us a speculative target of 32.5. This is an interesting price area, like everything else, to be honest, within this yellow box. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see that there were some pretty important things happening around this price level. This is where Bitcoin's candle, kind of closed a little bit when we first corrected on the way up to 42K. The first time we ever hit these price levels, we had a lot of consolidation here. There were some key support bounces and rejections off this area, including as recently as May 2022, almost exactly a year ago now. This price area has been pretty important, and as a potentially logical area of resistance for Bitcoin, I think it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, and I've been saying to you in all of these videos, there isn't really one key area of resistance in this range, in my view, which makes it quite hard to analyze. But at the same time, we can still do certain things to just say, hey, look, we're probably more likely to find resistance here than, say, $300 lower or higher, for example. So 32.5 definitely looking like an important level. And there are some other really cool developments here. This is something that I want to show you. I'm going to get to this in just a second here, showing some amazing profit potentials up to $40,000. I'm going to cover that in just a second. There are a lot of opportunities as traders right now in this market. Ethereum is blowing up. This is the number one thing that I've been warning about on this YouTube channel, that Ethereum has been a bit of a sleeping giant, and that as soon as Bitcoin starts to stabilize and cruise in this $30,000 area, this is exactly where we're going to start to see money flowing from Bitcoin into altcoins. We've already seen the start of that. Solana's doing phenomenally well. Other altcoins across the board doing pretty well right here. Ethereum leading the charge. Every single bit of altcoin analysis I'm going to make for you today is going on the second YouTube channel, which you can find only by following this link in the description down below. Open up the description of any YouTube video that you're watching on this main channel and head down to the first link right here. Click on this link and it will take you to my 𝗙𝗡lies Daily channel, where, as you can see, I am only putting out Solana, Ethereum, XRP, Polkadot, Chainlink. Absolutely every shitcoin your heart can desire is being analyzed on this channel as well. So if you have suggestions and stuff like that, also drop them down in the comments of these videos. But that is very, very exciting. And obviously, while you're down there, make sure that you take advantage of the $30,000 discount available to you on, $30,000 in trading ammunition available to you on Bybit. All you've got to do is sign up to Bybit using my link in the description down below, and you can trade Bitcoin completely free on spot. There's no fees with spot trading, meaning just normal buying and selling. And if you want to trade with leverage, if you want to trade like I do, you're going to get up to $30,000 for free that you can just throw into the market. And all you've got to do is sign up using my link, less than 20 seconds, and make your first deposit and start trading. Literally takes less than 5 minutes to do all of that, and you can be set up with some really, really cool cash bonuses to trade these markets. Very, very exciting indeed. And like I said, I'm going to get to this 40K thing in just a second, but the first thing I want to do before we get there is just acknowledge that Bitcoin did manage to break into this range after an area of very low volatility. Now, this is very important. For a long time, Bitcoin wasn't doing anything. Bitcoin literally pretty much traded sideways, slightly arced up towards the upside, targeting the upside a little bit on this time frame right here. And so generally, when we leave, what I would call areas of very low volatility and we enter areas of high volatility, we tend to get pretty quick corrections. So for example, right here, now it's not really, we can't really make a huge conclusion off this just yet, but I mean, if this thing carries on flying, then this is pretty clearly just a very short-term bit of consolidation. And that's exactly what we'd expect, because we've just come out of a very long-term period of consolidation. So it's not typical for Bitcoin to consolidate for 3 weeks and then immediately consolidate for a week again. You know, like usually if it's been consolidating for 3 weeks and then it breaks out, it's only going to correct for a day. It's only going to correct for 6 hours, you know, like very small time frames. And then it'll start flying again. And in this case, if we look at this breakout point, it's been about 2 days, right? So pretty short-term correction here if the market does continue to fly up right now. And that is what we would expect. The only thing that makes all of this difficult is that we've literally broken out into an extremely strong area of resistance. So if we can clear it, we're good, right? Like if we get above this yellow box, which ends at about $33,000, $34,000, it's a big resistance range, guys. This is the problem with this price range. But if we do get above it, then it is a straight moonshot up to $40,000 and anything else. I mean, you just get your lotion out and you decide, to be honest. It's your time to shine, mate. So you go for it. And that is, you know, that's going to be a phenomenal, beautiful set of trading opportunities as well. Now, what I do want to show you, though, is where our support indicators lie if things start to go south. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, it lines up perfectly with the $28,000 level that we are finding resistance at, 28.6, right there in the next few days. Literally, if we fall down there within the next 3 days, we are going to have support over here, which is phenomenal. It is not strong support, but because there's also this existing horizontal level, I am pretty confident in it. Daily time frame, this support now stretches all the way up to 26.7, which is the bottom of our support range that we've been enjoying over the last 3 weeks. This would be pretty cool, but we're only going to be able to use this towards the middle of May, so very far away. If we get a steep drop now, there isn't going to be a whole lot that can protect Bitcoin until we get down to 24, 25K, you know, which is one of the main predictions I was making before. I do still think that 28K is in play for support, but it's still just a little bit too close. You know, if we take a look at, for example, some basic Fibonacci retracements, we can start to get an idea of, like, you know, just what kind of correction we could expect, right? Let's just draw it from here. It's just really interesting to do this to see, like, does it line up with important levels that we already know of? So the 33382 level lines up perfectly with that Ichimoku cloud on the daily time frame, but again, only into May. You know, 618 support level over here, 236 over here, but nothing up at 28K, right? So we need to move up a little bit higher before we can be very confident about the 28K support area being in play, unless we just trade sideways, right? The second thing that I showed you, the main thing that I showed you in yesterday's video was this fractal right here, how Bitcoin literally is repeating very similar to, you know, what happened previously back in 2020. If you missed that video, just pause this one right here, hit the like button, and then go back and watch the previous one, because that was a really strong video with a price target of like $200,000. Pretty crazy stuff, but actually a lot of it makes sense anyway. Just go back and watch it if you haven't already. You're going to really like it, and it is not out of date. That was a very long-term analysis video. But the other thing that I mentioned in that video was this right here, was that the market actually came back down to get a little bit of support. Let me show this fractal to you properly. It was on this chart right here, where Bitcoin kind of went up and then just stabilized, and then we were able to use this very nearby support area. You know, so that's important. Is like if we fell down to it here, it probably would have collapsed. But the fact that Bitcoin spent 30 days above meant that, you know, the market had corrected enough already. You know, when we get a long-term period of consolidation, we don't need to have extremely steep price corrections. When we get extremely steep price corrections, we don't need to have long-term time frame consolidation periods. That's a really big deal. See, if Bitcoin got up here and then immediately crashed down like this, let's say it crashed down more like this, like literally within like 2-3 days it dropped massively, we probably would have been already up here, you know, a few weeks ago, you know, a week or two ago, potentially, you know, because the price moves way faster. You know, even in the direction of the trend, if the true direction is up, we'll end up going up way faster if we have steep price drops, you know. So we pay with blood or we pay with time. These are the two ways that the market collects its debts. And That is a really, really important thing to keep in mind. Go ahead and write that down if you think that's something that really jumps out to you. This is so juicy. I actually wish I was recording my Ethereum video right now instead. So just go onto that second channel and check that out if you haven't done so already. What I want to show you now, though, is this chart right here. And this is a chart that we're familiar with. If you've been watching for a little bit, if you've been subscribed to the channel, you're going to know that we were talking about patterns like this, including this one specifically. And this is a huge head and shoulders pattern. We've completed it. The only thing we didn't do is we didn't come back down for that back test to get that kiss of life and then kind of skyrocket higher. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. Some people would say it is an essential property of the head and shoulders pattern. I don't care because I don't think that these patterns are, gifted straight from God. I actually just think that these are just basic displays of psychology. So if we deviate a little bit, it doesn't really matter. When we're looking for rhymes, we're not looking for repetition. That's important to keep in mind. And so we didn't get that back test, but that's okay. We are now well on our way to that target. This target from the breakout point is 61% higher. The reason we've got this 61% target is because the head, the length of the head measures 61%, so we can use that to extrapolate a target at $40,000. Now, as you will know very well, this is the same price range I was talking about a lot back down at 17K. I was talking about $30,000. Bam, that's done. I was talking about $40,000. I still don't know if we're going to get it. I said it back then. I'm saying it again now. My perspective on this hasn't changed at all, even though the price has doubled. I thought 30K was very likely. I think 40K is on the cards. I think it's possible. I don't want to hold my breath for it, though, because it is still, a lot can happen, right? We can break out beautifully. We can break out above my yellow box that I was talking to you about. We can pump up massively and then we can stop at 38K because there's, some manipulation or, like some people front running the market or whatever, right? So I don't even want to, make a strong prediction on that. I was confident about 30. That's why I said I was confident. I'm not confident about 40, but I do think it's possible. What I think is really promising, though, is this is a 61% move and we only have 33% left of that move to do. That means we've already completed the first roughly half of this price move. We've already roughly completed half of the breakout target that we were expecting here, which is phenomenal. We're doing really, really well. Immediately after breaking out, we've had a nice period of consolidation. This is healthy price action as far as I'm concerned right now. I'd like to see a bit of a pullback. We haven't seen a pullback for a while. I know I don't want to say it either, but you know what? We're looking at sustainability of trends. That's one of the things that we need. I don't know if we're actually going to get it because of the support areas. The support areas on this chart are plentiful. If we look at it on the 4-hour EMA ribbon, for example, we haven't even found support from this indicator yet, but it is very close to us, meaning that even if we do start to drop or just consolidate, there's a lot of support that's probably going to keep trying to push the market higher. That is great for us, and it's definitely very, very exciting, even more so for altcoins, as we can see very clearly, so it is definitely something that's worth keeping an eye on and paying attention to. I want to stress, by the way, some of the analysis we've been sharing on this channel, all of it pretty much, has been extremely useful, but some of the things I've been speaking about have already been playing out. Those of you that have been watching these videos and able to consider and identify trading opportunities after watching these videos have been doing very, very well. It is well worth checking this out because this is where the money is right now. That's why I'm doing this, right? Like, I wouldn't sit behind my laptop for an additional fucking even 20 minutes per day if I didn't think it was worth my time. I'm a trader at the end of the day. I'm not here to work hard and put in 8 hours of work a day. I just want to think smart and make some fucking money. So if I'm deciding that, you know what, this is worth making way more videos on, this is worth paying way more attention to and trading in these markets consistently, that's because I think there's some real money to be made here. And viewers who are watching this channel are already benefiting from exactly that. So if you want to be that guy as well, check it out. Because the big thing, honestly, the biggest news today, in my view, is the dominance. Look at Bitcoin's dominance. It is dropping hard right now. This is right now a pretty good correction already. Granted, we're only down by 1.2%, but we've been rallying so hard recently that even such a small drop in dominance like this is resulting in explosive breakouts for coins like Ethereum. Look at this. It's absolutely beautiful. This is so significant. you'll hear about it in that video. So that is something which is looking really, really promising. So I like the fact that we're well on our way to satisfy this breakout target. I like the fact that Bitcoin in the short term is still showing strength. I like that we're consolidating sideways. I think we're doing all the right things. I think this is just one of those things where, if you're holding Bitcoin, great, enjoy it. This is a good ride. If not, if you're still sidelined and you're a little bit annoyed about that, don't worry. There are still a million more opportunities coming, including that altcoin strategy video that I told you about. That's probably going to be released today on this YouTube channel. So double check that you're subscribed as well, that you got the bell icon checked, so you don't miss out on any of this very time-sensitive content. If you want to trade with completely free cash and dominate in these markets, just withdraw whatever profits you make completely free using cash that was completely free. You can check it out with Bybit with the link in the description down below right here. If you want to join 𝗂𝗡𝗡's VIP at 50% off, that discount ends tomorrow. Check it out by following these links on screen right here. And of course, that second channel right here. Everything you need down there. Hit up the likes if you've enjoyed this. Take the bell, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.